I don't. It started.
All right.
Hello, Elifel. How are you?
What's up? All right, here we go.
Here we go. In English.
All right.
Or you prefer Circassian?
Oh, man, what is that again? Is that a language?
Yes.
Now, this is good because we're basically talking about, when we hear about prana, we think about it in a positive light. But there's also not only positive prana, but also negative. It's just a flow of energy. Because consciousness, or how energy flow works, the universe don't care if it's good or bad. It's just energy moving. But it's how we take it in our perception and how we use it, or how it can become. And both of us have journeys where we let things go, let go of old prana.
Go, go, go. Out of me fast, fast. Not
Right.
anymore.
To bring in new prana,
Yeah.
so we can say, life is so much better. So earlier we had a thing, and what was you talking about again?
I was talking about my journey. My journey that I was a very dedicated woman to all the extreme traditions in the Circassian community.
Mm-hmm.
And
The Circassian is basically
are Muslim.
a Muslim community.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
got you.
Their homeland is Caucasus, actually. And I am the 4th generation in Israel.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've been in my journey all the way with the old energy until at the age of 38, I was looking in the mirror and saying to myself, what the hell I'm doing here?
Wow.
How do I do it to myself, to my inner self?
Right.
And these old energies were all over me after 20 years of not really
Wow.
good
Living a life you really didn't want to live.
relationship. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So it was a breakthrough that said to me, listen to your soul for the first time in the age of 38,
Wow.
and try to look inside of you. Don't be afraid.
Wow.
You have the power to do it. Take the energy and flow with it, one by one, step by step.
And you basically took on that challenge at the age of 38, which most people would just accept by that time. But you said no. It made some changes.
It was like,
And apparently your life changed dramatically from coming from the Muslim traditional ways, so you had the headscarf and everything.
Yeah, everything, by the book.
By the book. Oh my gosh. And here you are now jumping around,
Jumping around,
hair swinging,
happy,
doing the yoga,
laughing.
happy.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
That's a big transition, and that's something that a lot of people might want to hear on many different levels on life, or letting go of the old energies to transform yourself into something new.
Yeah, and it was not that easy. It was very emotional.
Oh, I'm sure.
Heavy things inside of you.
Right.
But what am I speaking about? You're not eating now.
Well,
I did transitions. You're not eating.
it basically went the same way. See, this goes hand in hand. I looked in the mirror one day and said, you're fat, you're not happy, you're sick. You need to make some changes. So our story is the same.
Wow.
And that's still working with prana. See, when people think of the pranic journey, they just think about the food aspect. But keep in mind how your life was going on as totality as prana. And just by making those changes, bring more light and happiness into the body, which is nourishment. That's the word we need to use. Don't use food.
Nourishment. Yeah.
Nourishment. Oh my gosh, I love this.
And procedures. You don't have to make a cut there.
Right.
Procedures so that you'll be able to
Process, she's saying.
yes.
She's doing all right. She's speaking her English, all
Let's
right?
speak Circassian. Please. شركة زوجات زوج شاء ما قلت خو شاء جاب زوجون جاب نحضر بعض.
Okay, I got you. Oh, man. But this is good. The process of things. Not all the way, not cutting. So whether if you make it on your life totally, from relationships, or how you live in, the jobs, the workplace, which is nourishment, from the internal of foods, of exercise, or what we're talking about. That's another aspect. That's also a process that should be taken gradually. And by taking it gradually, it gives your body and your mind time to adjust through each transition. See, this is powerful.
Very powerful. It's all about the belief system.
The
And
belief system.
the free choice.
The free choice.
And
Oh,
what
man.
was the third?
Let's talk Caucasian again.
The empowerment.
The empowerment. And I like how you use that word because that's what everybody looks for. An empowerment. And in spirituality, we use the word self-realization. But we all look for that empowering ourselves to give you power to go from one obstacle into another.
Right.
And it all goes together. And that's what prana, again, if we use that word, is all about. The energy of things.
The new prana.
The new prana.
Yeah.
And I even like how, when we were saying, oh my gosh, my thought had come back. It's healthy to be pranic. Oh, it come to me. We made up a new song.
Okay.
But anyway. But that's what it's all about. It's the totality of the life. And the more you're happier on all levels, from physical health, emotional, mental, because people just like to focus.
Oh, food.
All right, I'm Ellie Tom Elamine, and I'm here to talk about pranic living or the pranic lifestyle. Now, prana is a word that comes from India, which means breath. But here, since I'm in Israel, we can use the word ruach, which is breath. Different cultures use different names, but we're all talking about the same thing. Now, today, when you look at modern day science, they will even tell you that consciousness is the greatest mystery in science. And a lot of things is going through, dealing with now, and it's coming out more and more, dealing with our way of thinking. And when you first hear about food freedom, it sounds real far-fetched and it scares people at first. But when you give a person a path on what it takes, because it's a process, then it starts making sense. Because what it deals with is a holistic lifestyle. And we can actually live a lifestyle where you can better your health, and we know this now, and you can live a lifestyle where you can bring more energy to your body. That's how we consider health or measure it. You have more energy to do things. You'll sleep less. You can fulfill more goals. And now we already got used to, in this age that we live in, what you put in your body affects your thinking.
Is what?
Affects your thinking.
Affects your thinking.
משפיע על המחשבות.
So everybody's catching this. You are what you eat. But now we're going into this, you are what you think. This is what living on prana is about. It's about the change of a thought process. Now, of course, the physical body's involved, so you say, now, wait a minute now. But due to our teachings, we're used to separating things. The physical body, the emotional body, the mental body, the spiritual body. But they're all one body. What you think affects the way the body behaves. That's why your placebo effect is one of the greatest pills that's out there now on the medical scene. Basically, giving somebody a sugar pill. This will make you healthy. Boy, I feel a whole lot better. And it didn't have nothing to do with it. It's our thinking. And also, vice versa, changes you make on the physical body, you start walking every day, you start swimming or whatever, it changes your thinking. It gets stress off the body. So they're both one. So when you deal with the pranic process, that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with what? Giving an education, because you only can accomplish what you know or somebody give you the instructions. If you don't know that it exists, you cannot do it. That's number one. And then for number two, there is an engagement or a process you must take the physical body through, and that's usually the hard part. You don't give up eating all the way at first. Absolutely not. Yes, you can hurt yourself, people can die, you'll lose too much weight real fast. That's just a reality. We're not going to be far-fetched with this. You have to give the body time to make its transition. Just like with people who lose weight. Okay, we're understanding this now. There's many people who lose weight, but they gain it all right back. And the people who are successful say, ding, it was a lifestyle change. It wasn't no process you just do all the way and you could go back to your old lifestyle. You're never going to gain weight again. It doesn't work like that. So even living on prana is a process because you're still going to be battled with your thought process, especially in the beginning, because food was part of all of our social gathering and events in life. We are professional eaters. You're good at it. Really?
I thought that people gain again just because the thought didn't change.
The thought didn't
They
change.
changed the food, not the thought.
Right,
The
exactly.
starve is the thought.
That's what it's at.
The belief system didn't change.
Yeah, yeah.
Belief system can be bullshit if you don't change it.
So you
Exactly.
change also the belief system, the thought.
The
that
thought
caused the
goes hand in hand with the physical habits that we're
Yeah.
putting together.
Yeah.
They both go hand in hand so you can get stronger and develop. And that goes with anything you're learning in life. It's so like right now there's a big thing dealing with intermittent fasting.
What?
Intermittent fasting.
תרגמי.
אני לא יודעת.
מדי פעם,
So,
intermittent,
Ah,
once in a
inter-
while, once in a while.
כן, once in a
Right.
while.
Well, intermittent fasting is people who, I believe, don't eat for 16 hours a day.
Yeah,
Let's just get
okay,
that.
yeah, bדיוק.
And
It's
people are
fucking-
really getting into that and
It's
seeing a
fucking-
lot of
Yeah, I
good
tried.
results.
Yeah,
Right.
and it's nice. You just have to stop eat at 6 o'clock,
Right.
and you start eating from 11 o'clock in the morning.
Big
So
improvements just on that level.
Yeah.
And even in the medical profession, when you go do a checkup now, they'll tell you don't eat or drink nothing for 12 hours.
Yeah.
So we can get a better reading. So even in the scientific field, a starvation diet, they use that word,
Yeah.
actually makes what? Mice live longer. Monkeys live longer. So it goes the same with the human being. So we got to clear the air now that food is a big problem, especially in your West, all over the world actually. We don't know how to eat. We overdid it. Things are meant to be used, and see, I'm not going to say not eating is not natural. That'd be wrong for me to say that. Because we as being energy beings, you seek energy so the brain can stay alive. Food is a form of energy. That's just at a lower form of energy. What the pranic process teach you that there's other forms of energy that we can actually make a transition to. These other forms of energy, you're already using them. Breath is the number one. They say the 3 treasures of life is eating, drinking, and breathing. And your third one, breathing, is actually your number 1 treasure in life. Why do we say that? Because you would die without breathing a lot quicker than what you would without eating or drinking.
Right.
Now let's get into breath work. Breath work is very powerful. We got all types of breath exercises. Wim Hof, he's famous out there with a real lot of breath techniques. So even to learn that form of meditation is very powerful to better your health. Now keep in mind, all of these things deal with bettering your health. You receive more prana in the body, and that's an indicator when your health start improving. That's without even thinking about letting go food. That's an indicator. Right there, just from exercising. Diet and exercise is the first 2 initiations of spirituality. Now, somewhere along the way, spirituality must have got hijacked. Right, because those 2 initiations was taken out. People's mindset now, diet and exercise and a physical body don't have nothing to do with spirituality. That's the mindset. But we're bringing back this revolution saying, yes, you're looking at a spirit. All you see is light and sound. That's what you see, which both of them are the same thing. I am a light being. Everybody's chasing a light body. You're looking at a light body. I'm looking at a light body. That's all you see. So when we break these illusions or the separation from what you're living in, this is what you must do in your new form of thinking, your new form of consciousness. And this will start becoming a reality. Now let's go back to these habits. We are creatures of habit, so when you engage your physical body to go into this process, for number one, you don't want to beat up on yourself. There's a lot of people who find out about this, and they get on this strict regimen, putting tape on their mouth, I'm never going to eat again. That's not what we're talking about at all. Let's go back to fasting once a week. When I first started fasting once a week, and this is before I even knew about living on prana. But I did that because I was with a Hebrew community. They went on a Shabbat once a week, but this particular group also fast along with it. So
העברים, השחורים העבריים בדימונה, הם חיים על צום פעם בשבוע ביום שבת, זה כאילו לא...
הוא שייך עליה, אני לא יודעת מי הוא בכלל, הוא לא הציג את עצמו.
Ask him, but she asked if you are related to the Hebrew in Dimona.
Oh, I'm related to everybody. It's beyond that now. I'm related to everybody. And this is good that you asked that, because everywhere I travel, every group who's at some type of holistic lifestyle, whether it's diet, meditation, their doctrines is all the same. It's the wording that's got everybody confused. For instance, India, they was using Shiva and Shakti, the female energy in you. Here in Israel, I can use Adam and Eve. Those two energies must work together. That's in each and every one of us. And that's basically your marriage of the Lamb. So we use these concepts, but these are like schematics of a process to where you could be self-sustaining. All cultures is talking about a tree of life. It's a self-sustaining person if you want to get technical. But how do we do this? We just lost the process. So going back to fasting once a week, when I first started that, it was hard at first. I'd never done it before. So I used to wait outside of a restaurant, wait until, right. I'm going on my fast, I want to eat good, right. But see, that was besides the point. When I made it through 24 hours, I felt good about myself just because I know I did it. So then it got to the point, even when the fast was over to be over with, I'm still waiting outside the restaurant. I got 5 more minutes for the fast to be over with. You got to work at your own level, you understand?
Among the Muslim people who I came from, Ramadan is
Yeah.
a month actually, but they don't eat for the whole day,
Mhm.
and in the night they eat double.
Yeah, they do. I was just in Egypt when this year when Ramadan was taking place. Yeah, they did good throughout the
All
day.
night long.
But our night, oh man.
But how can you break this concept of I need to לפצות,
Compromise.
compensate myself. This is a concept, yeah? It's
Oh,
a
absolutely.
thought. And how you break it. You born, I born with this. If I don't get this, so then I will get this.
Well, first you got to
Don't
hear
give
the
it take.
information. Like here I am coming through saying, I don't eat. I'm food free. So first, wait a minute.
Don't eat and food free. It's
Right.
different.
And it's okay to be a skeptic because you should try every information to come to you. You understand?
Yeah.
And then when a person starts giving you a plan, well, let me try this. And all I'm talking is a health message. Because back then, when I started